Hi everybody, Dave here. We're back in the van. Welcome to the Vanthusiasm channel. We've got a trip upcoming. We're going to the Canadian Maritimes. Uh, we'll also hit Acadia up in Maine. So Cabot Trail, PEI, Nova Scotia, Halifax. We'll take some ferries and we'll do some camping and some city uh, Airbnbs. So we need to talk about some van updates. We haven't done van update in a while, but I thought we'd do a quick video on that. 3 items to cover. 2 are quick. 1 will take a little bit of time. Let's get right into it. Number 1, new quilt. Number 2, more storage. Number 3, a DIY Lagun table, and that's what we're going to spend the most time on. This is the one I'm happiest with. And I think it's something all of you can do and not have to spend 200 or 250 bucks on a Lagun table. Let's have a look. Some of you may remember I previously had a dollar store mesh hanger up here. We've gotten rid of that and installed. These are car carrier meant to be strapped to the 4 corners of your roof so you can put items in the roof and get things up off the ground. We had this space up here and decided we could have something a little beefier. So I'm using lightweight items. I've got pillows, inflatable pillows. We've got electric blanket, just some other quilt as well. Lighter weight stuff, but this is nice and beefy. It's a Kaskawise is the name off Amazon. Just goes into some S hooks in the corner. It's up out of the way. I can still easily open both cabinets, and it doesn't block view. So ideal solution. I think 20 bucks. It's got some zippered pouches even, so you can have stuff in the main compartment and then put zippered items for quick access. That's item number 1. Okay, here's item number 2. This is the National Park Quilt. If you go to many of the National Park gift shops, especially that I've seen in the ones out west, they'll have this quilt there. Now, it's usually just a quilt kit. All you get essentially is the this top cotton piece that has all the individual panels of the 63 parks. I'm not a quilter. I did see one park where they had this done into a quilt on sale, $600. I believe if you buy just the top piece, it's was $50 to $60, something like that. I'm not a quilter, but my mom is, so I asked her if she could make a project for us. She did that. It's got the 150 weight Thinsulate. Then it's got a quilt backing on the back side here, just a nice coffee colored fabric. Seems to go well with the top piece of the quilt. And then every panel is stitched individually to prevent the Thinsulate from going around. So we'll take this on the trip. Should be plenty warm in case we get any cool nights. And I think we did a count. We're at the 25, 26 of the 63 parks. So we've got a ways to go yet. That's item number 2. Here's our DIY Lagun table. I'm going to take you through how this was put together. The key for me was ability to clear it out, remove it. That's something I like to do with all the projects that we've done here, is to be able to make space. I ideally wanted something for the front passenger and a center console replacement, but I haven't solved that problem yet with mounting. But this was an easy location to solve the mounting problem. And yes, we had to put one more hole in the van, and I'll show you that. So I'm just going to take this apart real quick and show you how it's constructed, what it is, and give you some ideas on how you can do it as well. Quick disassembly is with some, that's the first piece that can be disassembled. You can also take the top off if you need to have an easier storage. So we've got essentially one pipe with a couple fittings on it, and then we've got we made a knob bolt. So let's go through what's here. So permanently affixed to the van with a new hole drilled. I was able to pick up one bolt on an existing weld nut that was on the back side right here, but I did drill and install another large self-tapping bolt here into the sheet metal of this pillar. This material can be found at Lowe's. You can't find it at Home Depot. It's currently available at Lowe's. It's Schedule 30 structural piping. It's fairly beefy. So here's a piece of that Schedule 30 structural piping. You get an idea. Wall thickness over 1/8 of an inch. You know, it's meant for structure. It's not actually meant for plumbing. But it is found in the plumbing section at Lowe's. And it comes with a variety of fittings. They have flanges, like you see here. They have elbows, and they have these standoffs as well. You secure the pipe with these 1/2 by 20. So it's a fine threaded 1/2 Allen screw. So you do need an Allen wrench. It doesn't come with Allen wrenches. They do provide the Allen screws. Places where you want to be able to lock or unlock the position of the system, you need a knob, something you can turn. Sure, could you have an Allen wrench and keep it there? Yes, of course. But knobs are a lot faster and easier, so I couldn't find any 1/2 by 20 knobs in the market. So I ended up buying some bolts, recessing the heads, and we're using those. It also turns out that this stuff is structural, and the fits are not perfect. It's actually cast fittings. They don't machine it to precise tolerances. So I didn't like the amount of slop in some of the pieces. So I ended up cutting a plastic bottle up, used a shim, basically a PET sleeve, put it in some of the holes where I felt it was important to minimize the slop. And those are now secured in place. On this one here, this one's rigidly installed. So could I take this out? Yes, but I need a 10 millimeter and an Allen wrench to take out this bottom bolt. I didn't want to put another hole in the floor. I don't like holes in the floor. I don't like holes anywhere. So what we've essentially done is we've picked up on the D-ring anchor bolt that's in the floor, and just put a simple L bracket here, and then the pipe slides right down over the L bracket, and it's tightened down to the point where this will not move. All right, so this piece is rigid. Did drill an extra hole here, self-tapper, lock this pipe in. Then we made the arm of the table of 2 more pieces of pipe, short stub piece, and then determined the right length to get the amount of travel that I wanted. And so you essentially pop this right on, get it where you want it, and then you can tighten down with your knob. So that leaves you with this stub piece sticking out, and we've got a flange mounted to our board along with another knob that we made. And here you can see an example. I've got the sleeve inside this is a place where I wanted a nice tight fit, so I've put the plastic sleeve, and then also put made some little fins come down over the edge so that it actually provides a little better bearing surface. So this is actually a table we had on our other table. This is actually the tabletop we had on our other table, and I'm just reused it, and works great. So once you get this in the position you want, you can just lock this down. Everything's in really nice shape, and you know, you still get enough little movement. If you need to move it to get out of the way, it's still rigid enough. Could you do this with the 3/4 inch pipe? Yes. Could you do this with electrical conduit, maybe. You know, it gets a little questionable out here when you do these big cantilevers as to whether or not it's going to be strong enough. So I'd caution you about the conduit. But 1-inch galvanized pipe, sure. 3/4 inch, maybe. Depends on how you're going to secure it. And so this gives us what we need. Makes a nice bedside table, makes a nice eating area. I made this long enough such that when the bed is in the seat mode, this can be pulled all the way back to the seat and you get a nice seated work surface. And you can see if you want this a little tighter, you just tighten that up. Get this tight and then you're good to go. There it is. So that's project number 3. So ideally, I would love to have another table set up for right here, something that can work while you're seated in this position, and then also maybe come around to this center area between the 2 seats. That would be something we could use as well. One of the difficulties I discovered is that you see the seat belt is coming down through this zone behind this panel. So I have to keep any fasteners away from that to allow that to continue to move properly, because the spring coil's down here in the bottom. So that kind of makes it difficult to get something anchored here. There are some possibilities on this side, but I haven't quite figured out the right solution. That'll be a good project for next time. I've also thought about maybe picking up on the 2 anchor points here for the handle and make something that, instead of comes up from the bottom, comes down from the top, and then could pivot in and out. That might end up being the solution. So next year project. I hope you enjoyed these quick little updates. I hope you enjoyed thinking about the Lagun Table alternatives. That whole thing that we just looked at was all those components, $35, $40-ish in that range. And then take some time to make your own knobs. So you have to add a little woodworking time as well. So please consider liking the video and subscribing to Vanthusiasm. We'll catch you up after probably the upcoming trip up to the Maritimes. Thanks a lot. Bye.